Hello, Taurus. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and we're doing another tarot reading using the Unfolding Path Tarot, one of my faves. And I'm still learning how to kind of display the cards to the camera with this new setup, so bear with me. But I'm going to go ahead and give the deck a good shuffle for you, and I'll meet you on the other side of the shuffle for your reading. Okay, Taurus, let's see what we've got. Justice, the Three of Swords, the Six of Cups, let's see, and we start with the Seven of Cups. This is the energy that we find you in. Oh gosh, I wish I could. There we go. The Seven of Cups. So we find you in a place of feeling like there are some choices, there are some options, not really sure which way to go, not really sure how you're feeling about the options that seem to be available to you. This is often a time when the advice or the kind of general atmosphere allows for play. As much as you might like a more kind of stable, sure path, secure path, this card indicates a time when you can try some new stuff on. I mean, it's a new year, new you. Why not explore some options you haven't tried before? Follow some passions or some interests you haven't really put much time or energy into. The next card we have here is Justice, which I find is typically about contracts. Sometimes it's work contracts, like you might be afforded a new job or a new role at your existing job. Sometimes it's a gig work or some kind of other association where you make an agreement with someone to provide a service or to be a part of another group or organization in exchange for something else. And justice very much speaks to kind of the fair agreement, making sure you're getting fair recompense. It might not be money, it might just be sometimes like when we start a little podcast with friends or something like that, making sure you know everybody's role and what everybody is going to be doing, what everybody is going to be getting out of it, what making sure that you have the same kind of sense of essentially the contract. This can also be, for some of you, this might be a literal judgment falling in your favor, like if you have a court case. It could be something like a divorce or child support agreement finally being hammered out, that kind of a thing. But it's, in its essence, the Justice card is about making sure that you get a fair place or a fair deal. And if that means putting it on paper, if that means getting a notary to, sign, witness your signature or something like that, just being sure you read the fine print and you're associating yourself with an agreement that you understand, that you feel is fair. The next card is kind of it looks like kind of a bummer card. Let's see, can we get her? Let's see, how do we get her? There we go. The Three of Swords always looks like a little bit of a bummer. I find this card comes up most when there's been a loss or a disappointment that you get a little bit stuck on, that you get a little bit maybe obsessed about. It's the sort of thing that can color your experience of life for a while. It's like the grief filter or the disappointment filter. It's something you get stuck on. So this can come up with, a breakup of a relationship, or a loss of a job, or even like if your favorite coworker leaves your job and you like really experience that loss, and it can be kind of a bummer, and maybe the workplace doesn't feel like it used to. Or you know, another loss like a pet, or having to deal with a loved one's extended illness, something like that. It's the kind of experience that that makes you feel kind of blue for a little while, and it's like it infects the other aspects of your life that aren't even really related to it. It's just being aware of a bummer. But the thing about the Three of Swords is it's a phase. It's a phase, and with time, your head and your heart will become more aligned again, because you can see right here, swords are the suit of, oh gosh, swords are the suit of the mind, and philosophies and expectations. And of course, we've got the swords going through the heart on the Three of Swords in most decks, right? So that's kind of the head and the heart being out of alignment. Sometimes it's a choice you've had to make that you just don't feel great about making, like your heart isn't into it, but your head knows it's right. Or sometimes it comes after a phase where you've been following your heart, but it got you really out of alignment in terms of practical issues in your life. And so this is kind of a phase when you have to get your head and your heart kind of back in alignment. And it's a little bit, you may feel a little bit blue for a while. I don't want to belabor this card because it's just a phase. And on the other side, the card that we're ending with here, the card that we're moving toward, is the Six of Cups. And this is just such a lovely card. It's feeling connected to someone or someone's in a way that really makes you feel light, maybe even young again. So this can sometimes come up when a friend from the past returns or comes back, or you meet up with, like a school reunion or something like that. This could be somebody you had a crush on that maybe the timing wasn't right, and all of a sudden now it is. Now you're both single and you can move forward. This can be, for some people, this might even be being able to spend more time with like a grandchild, and being and that experience, like, kind of making you feel young again. It is kind of the opposite of what's going on here, right? Where this feels kind of heavy. It's a kind of a heavy blue period. This is very light and happy, and it's got kind of a playful, youthful kind of emotional aspect to it. So it's like that feeling of play and lightness and connectedness. So we've got really a mixed bag in your reading here, Taurus. We start with this place of maybe being indecisive, not knowing which way to go or what to try or which path to choose. But this is saying go ahead and try a few things. That there may be some things that work out. There may be some options or pathways or hobbies or connections that don't work out, but there isn't a perfect way forward, or there isn't just one thing you need to focus on right now. You can go ahead and experiment and play. While you do that, make sure that whatever connections you might be making any agreements you might be making, you understand, and that you're getting a fair deal. So if you're trying a new job or joining a new group or going into a sort of business or a creative endeavor with a friend or family member, just make sure everybody knows what's everybody's role and what everybody is doing and getting out of the experience. It seems like there may be a little bit of a bummer that either you're dealing with right now or that you kind of see on the horizon. And it's not, even if it feels unpleasant, it's not going to be a fatal wound, as it were. It's just about getting, something that didn't work out and having to process that loss or disappointment and getting your head and heart back in alignment. And this card says that's going to happen. That you're moving towards a time of lightness and joy and feeling connected with loved ones, siblings, family members, maybe even friends from the past or an old crush. So I hope you enjoy that reading, Taurus. I hope it gives you some clarity, some options. In any case, please take good care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by.